PIX4life is a European pilot line initiative focusing on silicon nitride photonics aiming at visible applications, so especially addressing life science needs. Within PIX4life, IMEC is a consortium leader in the project, and next to that there are two foundries, an R&D foundry, which is IMEC, and the other one is a commercial foundry, which is Lyonix International.
Lyonix International supplies one of the two silicon nitride platforms for visible light, called triplex, that can support visible light integrated photonics for life science applications.
In IMEC, you use the PIX platform. The PIX platform is a very versatile platform, so there are different flavors. So you have the 115 nanometer thickness silicon nitride that we offer, but next to that we also offer the 300 nanometer platform. Another advantage of using PIX platform is that you can integrate it directly on a CMOS imager wafer, and that's one of the advantages of this platform.
Well, in the field of integrated photonics, we have now already since more than 10 years the emergence of silicon photonics, where we mostly use silicon on insulator as a waveguide platform. That has developed tremendously, and we have mature platforms, we have open access for these platforms, so it's really gearing up, and that's very important because an end user can only start making use of the technology if there is a low barrier access to sufficiently mature platforms, and that is the case for silicon on insulator. However, silicon on insulator being beautiful for many applications, it is not good for everything. And that's where silicon nitride comes in. Silicon nitride has a number of properties and assets that are very complementary to silicon on insulator. It can work in the visible, and that is very relevant in PIX4life, but there are other things just as well. It's better for nonlinear optical operation. The losses of waveguides are lower, very important, etc. So in a number of cases, silicon nitride very nicely complements silicon on insulator. But that's where the need for low barrier open access to a mature platform comes in, and that's in essence what PIX4life is developing, a mature platform or set of platforms that can be accessed with low barrier open access way.
We're Synopsys, and we are working on the design environment for PIX4life. And what we're doing is trying to make all the software tools easily communicate with each other, and to make the design process as painless as possible for the people that design the chips for PIX4life.
Basically, what we try to do is that in the moment a company that is interested on the development of a PIC or for visible light biophotonics, in this case, we can assist them in how to approach the design of the system, how to build the PIC, in which platform, which is the best for their application, and as well as taking this PIC once it's out of the foundry and checking that everything is up to specs, and then handing it to them, or for them to have their chip photonic PIC ready.
We are developing on-chip light sources for the circuits, and we use a vertical cavity laser technology to do that. We do flip chip integration, and we also do heterogeneous integration to build these lasers. Well, one of the difficulties for these circuits is the light source itself. This is always sort of limiting the performance of these circuits. So there is a real need for a very efficient and low current light source. And we hope that the technologies that we develop will provide the solution.
So for packaging, the biggest roadblock is the move from prototype devices to volume manufacturing. And this is a major challenge, and within the consortium of PIX4life, the aim would be to move towards more generic packaging techniques and also standardized packaging processes. This is also being addressed within the PIX app pilot line in general, not just within the silicon nitride applications, but across all many different applications across other areas also. For instance, the coupling of light into and out of the PIX using direct integration of sources, but also of coupling of optical fibers to the PIX, and also any associated electronics or mechanical packaging that's required.
Okay, PIX4life helps us to overcome the gap to really integrate optical systems in different wavelengths and to integrate it small and in a cost-effective way. To get these building blocks together is a huge relief for us.
PIX4life gives us the chance to really try out new things that would be otherwise too expensive, or like usually you have the problem you don't know if something will work, so you will not take your money into the hand if there's a low probability. This way you can have experiments trying things that would be too risky otherwise, and you can also leverage the knowledge of other people, of course, that already have done similar things, bringing you new ideas, and then something new comes out of it. And I think many things haven't been thought of, and so you have a lot of new opportunities.
PIX4life helps us with the help of the designers of the consortium to expand our fields into the medical treatments, in this case in ophthalmology.
So at this point in time, I have to say what's most commonly used in the life sciences technologies is relatively bulky optical elements. Even though it's nicely developed and perfectly engineered, it's complex stuff, and it's quite large, and it's labor intensive to assemble. And what we hope to get from these integrated photonic circuits is that it's becoming more ubiquitous, that you can put it into devices that can be used everywhere around the world, that are portable, light, have highly integrated functionalities, really to bring it to the next generation.
Miltenyi has a strong expertise in biophotonic measurements, but they do not necessarily have the engineering background in designing PICs. So this is where we step in. We have designed the core devices that are being used in the custom PICs for the Miltenyi application, for the cytometry application.
Oh, absolutely, because it brings us in touch with lots of interesting people that know a lot in their fields, which we would normally not have access to. And like this time we can talk to the universities that do perfect and smart solutions in the electronics business and in the optics business. We can talk to other manufacturers. I mean, it's a very multidisciplinary and quite inspiring environment. Lots of interesting people to network with.